Hello and welcome to What Map, the map review show for Cities Skylines. There are tens of thousands of maps in the workshop now, and so finding the right one for your next build is a huge task. So each day, Monday to Saturday, we'll review one, using our 5-star rating for aesthetics, detail and gameplay potential, awarding only the very best the coveted seal of approval. So join me, fellow Skylines explorers, as we venture to today's new land. Who am I? I'm BonBonB, and you are very, very welcome.
Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Monday's What Map. Now before we get started, you know that new show that I'm releasing 6 o'clock tonight? I've been giving you all those little teasers but no real clues at all as to what it's about. Well, it's time for the big reveal. Are you sitting comfortably? It's Skylines Talk. That's right, it's a City Skylines chat show where each episode I'll be talking with one member of the City Skylines community, one of the brightest, most creative minds that we've got amongst us. And episode 1 is with Mr. Miyagi. Yep, it's Mr. Miyagi. Oh my life, I've got like one of the biggest names in the Skylines community in episode 1 straight off the bat. I'll tell you what, it's a really good episode. It would be a shame if you missed it. But let's get on with What Map, shall we? That is kind of why we're here after all. And today's map, it's glorious. It's Sedona AZ, which I believe is short for Arizona, by Douglas. And looking at it, it's kind of got a hint of deserts down half of it, which would be the Arizona deserts. There's your resources. What do you need? Well, it is a mass transit map. You are going to need that for this particular map. If you haven't got it, still stick around and have a watch anyway. It's worth looking at, this one. It's got a specific Sedona theme, realistic LUTs required, a few trees and rock packs and things like that. Not huge amounts though. So let's drive through the deserts. I'm not sure whether these are accurate trees for this part of the world, but I'm guessing Douglas has done his research better than I have today. To be honest with you, I was expecting cactuses, or cacti, as they're better known in the plural. But no, this is that. Now, he's not afraid to use elevated highways where it's necessary, which is there. And then we get to look over the edge and look at that. Oh, and look at that. Now, if I was to fly down that manually, following the roads like I normally do, this would take forever. Let's jump in the car and head down this using first-person view, or third-person view, I guess, because we're not driving it, so it's the third person, even though it's a first-person view from the third person. Am I making any sense at all? Probably not, I never do. But we will get to the bottom eventually. Now, one thing I have noticed, brake lights on the cars work. I didn't really notice that before. And also, even when going around the bends, indicators are going to show whether he's turning left or right, which you don't need to do if you're just going around the bend, you idiot. Right, anyway, that's just a little thing I noticed. Right, see that road there? We're going to go over there in a minute. I pointed that out just to give you an idea of location. It'll make sense in a minute why I've shown that. One little slight detailing problem is here, as you can tell. I won't tell you what's wrong with that, you can see it. But now you can't because we've left it behind. And now we're going, this is a kind of like a mountain pass road. And there's a couple of queries. Like here, this is odd, backs on itself. But that road up there, that's where we just came from. I don't see why that couldn't have just been connected straight across that hill there. You know, that would have made a lot more sense than coming up and doing a loop-de-loop. Now I've noticed there along the mountain edges we've got the barriers, which for safety, I like that. That's a nice little touch. And then, like I say, we're heading up, and this is all very scenic and very nice, bending. And I think the whole purpose of this road is because it is scenic and nice. Because look, we've got this little pull in here, which is a lay-by, but obviously look at the view. That's why that's there. And then we carry on up, and look, that's your build plane at the top there. That's it. I mean, you can't really get to the top. And would you really want to build right on the top of the mountain there? I don't know. But look also here, if you knock a little tunnel through there, and look, straight across here, and that's that first windy road that we just came down. So I think that little right turn there at that intersection was unnecessary. I'll tell you what is nice though, let's follow this dirt road down. This seems odd, following a dirt road when we've got the highway to follow. But watch this. First of all, level crossing, good to see it. You're not going to get a dirt road go over it, but look at this. Now this is detailing. This is detailing. Overkill possibly, but still. So we've got these ruined cars. We've got a little ruined village down here. Very nicely done. And we've got a little castle. And of course, obviously, the multi-track railroad. Let's head back to this intersection again. And yeah, like I say, he's not afraid to use elevated highways where necessary. Barriers where they add. And then we've got perfect bridges. Which is nice. But we've got drowned trees. Ooh. If you're worried about whether I was going to dock him a point for detailing, I think it's gone. Because those trees weren't deliberate. Now here we go. This is a nice intersection here. Very big. And this is your start square. Now it's a bit lumpy for a start square. Plenty of build plane. But it's not the easiest place to start. That said, doesn't mean that it's not actually a very good location. Just means you're going to have to use some skills. Now here we've got a nice bridge again. Perfect bridge. Perfect bridge. Into elevated highway. And this goes off to the fog. And there's another elevated highway just down there. Not much to see down that way, to be honest with you. So we'll come back to this intersection and take a left. And down here we've got a few more bits and bobs to look at. This is quite nice as well. See that? Very nice. It comes down here and there's a little dirt track on the other side of that level crossing. And then as we head down to this intersection, it's quite nice. A little bit low that the street lamps are just clipping into it. They're not clipping through. So we can kind of almost forgive that one. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But at least, like I say, the cars on the upper section aren't crashing into street lamps. And then we'll bend off and head for an early asset review, shall we? When I say early asset review, what I mean is we do it before the rail because we spent such a long time doing the roads today. Now, where's my asset? It's normally on the corner. What? Oh, of course, sorry, I'm being an idiot. It's the AUDI prop pack. They're parked along the curb by CRISGAMES. Now these are 4 lovely little props. You've got the Audi A5, the Audi A4, the Audi A3, and the Audi A2. No, the Q7, of course, at the back the Q7. And yeah, they're lovely little props, and if you want to stick them in car parks or maybe in a car dealership, makes a lot of sense to me. Lovely detailing there from CRISGAMES, and if I could give 5 stars for detailing I would, but we don't give stars in the asset review. We just look at them and go, oh, isn't that nice? It's the Audi prop pack by CRISGAMES. And back to Sedona, Arizona. We're going to have a look at the rail now. Now, the rail is of an equal standard to the roads, if I'm honest with you, and in fact it follows quite a sensible route as well. We can follow this all the way around. We've got one of these perfect bridges again, very high. It's not scared to use height, which is good. I like that. And then, like I say, we go in terrain to elevation to terrain to elevation. Very nice. Under the road, it doesn't need to be, but it did on that occasion. That goes off to the fog. But we're going to follow this way. Like I say, these little elevated sections as well, beautifully done. Cutting through the little valley there. And then heading up to our little detailed area here. Very nice that it is, but we're going straight through this time. Bends off to the left, we've got this perfect bridge again. Goes across the intersection. Nothing, no posts in the middle of the intersection. Through the forest. And then heading up parallel with the highway that we saw a minute ago. Level crossing, across there, and off towards the forests. And interestingly, it's just across the way there from where we started. I thought that was interesting anyway. There's your shipping route, not much of it, comes up the river, goes back down the river. Doesn't hit anything, doesn't go cross country, nothing to grumble about there. Water flow coming down the river, nice and strong, so you can stick all your poop in there and it'll get washed away. Good work from Douglas again. Very hard to find anything that's particularly wrong with this map, to be honest with you. Are we near the top yet? Are we nearly there yet? Come on. Are we there? Oh, we did it. This time we'll come down the river and have a look and see if there's anything of note down here. Oh, there's a couple of things to look at. First of all, there are the drowned trees. They do pop up a couple of times, but there is something that's worth seeing down this river. If we come down here through the forests, this is not bad. 1 or 2 drowned trees on the right there, and then down here a few on the left here. So yeah, that's definitely not a 5-star map for detailing. A few on the right there as well. It's a shame. It's a shame because there's so much good about this map. And then we come down here. Now you see we've got the wharf here where you can tie up your boat. It's a bit high, and I thought, oh, that's a bit high. But then I realised, why would you have a wharf right next to a waterfall? Well, you wouldn't, would you? That'd be stupid. And this guy seems too clever for that. It's obviously an observation deck. Look at that. You stand on there, have a sandwich. Well, a bit dangerous because it's collapsing, but I think that is genius. That is, for me, a mark of genius. Douglas, did you hear that? You've been called a genius twice, and I'm going to do it a third or a fourth. I've lost count. See, I can't even count to 3 or 4, and you're putting observation decks at the top of waterfalls. It's brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And then the river goes off into the fog. A quick look at the overall topography, etc. Lots of build plane, not perfectly flat, just slightly challenging. And then as we then head up into the hills, plenty of build space pretty much everywhere. You get up into the hills here, it's a little bit like Red Dead Redemption. The hills seem to be only there to divert you into a different direction rather than to stop you from building. And I like that. It's excellent work. Excellent, excellent, excellent work. Yeah, and it does feel like, I'll say a bit of Red Dead Redemption. Proper cowboy country. Like it a lot. Let's give this thing some marks, shall we? Because we do that. Aesthetically, it's very nice. It's just shy of a 5th star though for me. 4 very proud stars there. Detailing, 1 or 2 minor problems, but nothing that can't be resolved very quickly. 4 stars there also. Gameplay potential, says he with a croaky voice. I think this is limitless. Very rare I give 5 stars for gameplay, and I'm giving them here. What a marvellous map, and if you do not subscribe to this, then you are a fool. A fool, I tell you, and not a genius like Sedona. This has to get the BonBonB seal of approval. Well, thanks for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing. Don't forget, 6 o'clock tonight, join me and Mr. Miyagi for the first ever Skylines talk. And stick something in the comments just to keep me busy through the day. I'd like to read something today. Just a small bit of fan fiction would be great. Thanks for that. See you then. See you later. Bye now.